Greetings, I'm John the Spirit. I had no idea Cobblestone had so many alchemical uses. I'm totally going to use this fact in real life, and welcome to Ultimate Alchemy Recap Supershorts. I am once again playing this game with my friend Arch on multiplayer. So that means I will be recapping the things that we do in Ultimate Alchemy. However, I actually find that structure more convenient, so if you're seeing this video, you can be assured that you will see every single video of this playthrough released on a regular basis. I am going to record them all before I publish, because this is a short enough mod pack that I can guarantee that. But maybe you will never see those videos, and that'll be so sad. But if you're hearing this now, you know, they've come out, wow! Anyway, the pack starts you off on a platform ringed by blue bricks, and then this cobble platform and this wood platform. You are also allowed to fly for free. You're given an item barrel with infinite wood and infinite cobblestone, which you can make more of, by the way. If you just press R on item barrels in JEI, it'll show you a recipe to get the infinite wood, stone, and cobblestone barrel. The stone is one you can get on your own. This little instruction book tells you your ultimate goal. In this little pocket dimension, you need to make true clay, the ultimate alchemy. If you just search clay, the only clay is true clay. And it requires our friend Chaotic Tier Fusion Crafting and all of these resources, two of which, cobblestone and wood, we already have. I'll lead you through the others one by one, but there are roundabout ways to get to these things, and it involves a lot of JEI searching, so hopefully my help will be invaluable. Or at least moderately valuable? To start with, we need to make everything that's possible to make from just cobblestone, and while technically that's everything in the pack, I mean the things that are most directly available to us. One of these is iron, which you can smelt 4 of from a compressed cobblestone. I have automated these processes here, and you can do these with the basic resources, but these assume you already have the basic resources, like these transfer nodes require redstone, which you can get, but we'll get you to redstone eventually, soon enough. Mechanical crafters from extra utilities can take items from neighboring inventories and turn them into whatever you have crafted. So here we're making compressed cobblestone from the cobble in a nearby item barrel. We pull out the cobblestone using transfer nodes, stick it in the furnaces, and get iron, which we put into this item barrel. We then use that iron to make iron pickaxes, which are integral to several other upcoming recipes. Those recipes all have the same form: an iron pickaxe, a bowl, and something that you'd like to metaphorically crush in the bowl. For example, cobblestone turns into gravel, gravel can be compressed and then smelted into tin. You can then crush cobble into gravel into sand, and then compress sand to smelt into copper. These things are relatively straightforward compared to some of the other recipes. We are not inserting the iron pickaxes directly into the autocrafters, mind you. We're putting them into mini chests nearby, so our autocrafters don't get filled with way too many iron pickaxes and then have no room for anything else. Very sad. And not happening, thanks to our mini chests, which only hold 1 item. While we were doing this, Arch made me 9 mini chests, and I was like, can you give them to me? And then he put them all down on the floor, and I had to painstakingly break them so slowly, because I did not at the time, have an axe. You can make 2 other things, and at this point the automation gets really cramped because of poor decisions. You can make redstone by crushing levers in a bowl, which I think is cute. That's basically alchemy at that point. You just have a little thing here that turns wood into sticks, and then turns sticks into cobblestone, and then turns levers into sticks and cobblestone into levers, whatever. I can do alchemy, I promise. I will pass this test. The final thing you can make so directly is glowstone. Glowstone comes from torches, so we are smelting wood, making sticks with the wood as well, like we are really using this item barrel, and then making our torches and turning them into into glowstone. You may be wondering, Jonathan, how are you getting the wood into the side of the furnace? And again, how are you getting the glowstone out of mechanical crafters? It's not like they have an auto output feature. This is where the power of flat transfer nodes comes in. If you hold flat transfer nodes in your hand, which are made from an anvil on top of a transfer node, and hover over the face between 2 blocks, you'll notice that here, for example, we are using a flat transfer node that pulls from the mechanical crafter into the glowstone dust barrel. And again, we're doing one from wood into the furnace. You can shift right click on a block face to place the flat transfer node on that block face. Note, it will not go on a block that doesn't have an inventory on it. The face that you shift right click it onto is the pulling face. It'll pull from the inventory it's attached to and into the inventory you put next to it. You can break the flat transfer node by shift left clicking while holding a flat transfer node, or the wrench from extra utilities, which in this mod pack does take a bit to get. You need rose red. The wrench allows you to change up some pipe connections. We did not use any weird pipe connections to produce this system because we didn't have the wrench at the time. But you can also place down the flat transfer node in a way that causes it to push into the inventory you initially attach it to by holding Control when you right-click. And now it will look red, and this shows that the inventory that is on is now the target, and it will push from the adjacent block right here into this inventory. Anyway, so we use that a fair amount in the system. But remember, mechanical crafters next to each other can simply pull from each other because mechanical crafters pull from adjacent inventories. Anyway, that's a bunch of random metals and dusts. What now? The modpack page says that if you don't know what to do next, you should probably proceed toward getting forestry machines and Tinker's construct machines like the smeltery. But one helpful goal to look toward is also just getting grass blocks. That's what we'll focus on for the rest of the episode. How do we get grass? To get grass, you need compost and dirt. Dirt can be made in a variety of ways, but the initial way that you make it is by putting gravel in a carpenter and adding liquid dirt. Liquid dirt can be made by smelting dirt, and you do get enough liquid dirt to cycle the process, but you need dirt first. How else can you get it? In a still. A still turns water of life into liquid dirt. Water of life can be made in a fermenter with gravel, water, and, you guessed it, compost. You probably didn't guess it, but compost. We're pretty sure mulch and fertilizer aren't things you can get this early, but you can get the compost. However, you don't have access to wheat or ash or saplings this early. And besides, these recipes for compost require dirt, but you can get oak leaves. How do you get leaves? You can craft 9 saplings into leaves. You can carpenter dead bushes into saplings, and you can carpenter 2 sticks into dead bushes. So the first things you had to make were the carpenter, squeezer, and still. All 3 recipes require basic things that you can already make. Pistons just require redstone, which again we've shown you have. And even the sturdy casing doesn't require bronze or anything crazy, it's just more redstone. As our first source of power, and our very sad first source of power indeed, we use the survival generator from Extra Utilities, which makes a cool 5 RF per tick from burnable fuels. Thankfully, you are given immediate access to an acceleration wand at the beginning of the game, and it is also very easy to make more acceleration wands. So you can just speed up the survival generator at first. However, later we changed our power generation method, which is another thing we could do without dirt. We decided to use the coal generator from Actual Additions because it looked like the most convenient next generator we could get. The only weird thing about the coal generator was the black quartz. But Arch found out that you could get crushed black quartz in a resonator from redstone. So Arch made a resonator and also a manual mill, which you right-click to provide grid power that the resonator can then use to run. The resonator and manual mill both needed the resonating redstone crystal, which requires an ender shard, but you can make an ender shard using an iron pickaxe crushing recipe on a piston, which also you can make. So we got our coal generator. And by turning sticks into dead bushes, and dead bushes into sapling, and 81 saplings into 9 leaves, we were able to make our first compost. That compost made enough liquid dirt for 2 dirt, because 1 compost will make you 100 water of life. Our first use of the dirt was to grow a sapling into a tree. The second dirt, using the saplings from that tree, we turned into 8 more compost, which in the fermenter could make us all of that precious water of life, and therefore more dirt. And with dirt and compost, we were able to make grass at last. You may be thinking, Jonathan, that method of getting more dirt seems incredibly inconvenient. You have to make the dirt into compost using saplings, and then you have to stick them in you have to do all this stuff in a still, and it's just terrible all the time. Luckily, there are better ways to replicate dirt, because once you have dirt, you can melt it into dirt in a smeltery, something we sort of forgot at the beginning of when we were doing that. And in fact, we now have dirt automation. But to talk about dirt automation, we have to talk about like a bunch of other random shit, and I feel like that's good for the next episode. So in the next episode, we'll discuss a bunch of things you can do with the smeltery, how you get lava, and how we use lava to replicate more dirt. And we'll talk about some of the many plant-related resources we got because we finally had grass, and also dirt. If you have any tips for other future players of the mod pack that may be watching this video and reading the comments, leave them in the comments. Normally I would ask for feedback, but seeing as I have already recorded all of the episodes of this series before I ever posted it on YouTube, it's not like I can actually implement that feedback. But this is like a unique circumstance and a test to myself to make sure I actually make everything. So I really hope you see this. And if you're seeing this, you're in for a good time, ? If you like my videos, ? But anyway, that's it for today's episode. See you soon!